Hi, and welcome to Super Anti-Aging Podcast with myself, Steve Alpern. This is going to be a really interesting podcast because it affects all of us. I don't care if you're an infant, pregnant woman, a senior, a super athlete, someone who's watching everything they eat organically, or even your dogs and cats. And what is this issue? This issue is plastic pollution. Our oceans are already filled with plastic at incredible rates. Plastics have been found in the top of the highest mountains. They're found in rain. They're found in our water supply. They're found in our cosmetics. They're every place. And it's a missing piece in health diagnosis, especially. Think about this a second. They can't find the cause of your problem, right? Blood tests look good, but you have symptoms. Maybe you have brain fog. Maybe things got worse after COVID. Why? Why things get worse after COVID? Well, here's a simple breakdown. Plastics can damage every single system in the body. Your heart, your arteries, your eyes, your skin, your intestinal system, gut permeability. Plastics generate bad chemicals, depending on how they were made. They release these chemicals. At the same time, they generate oxidative stress. Remember, I've talked about oxidative stress, the campfire, that you need some, but when it's out of control, it burns down the forest. Well, oxidative stress uncontrolled is the same thing. So you need to control antioxidant, with antioxidants, endogenous antioxidants that we have. We have glutathione, we have superoxide dismutase, we have different antioxidant systems in the body. But that's like having a sprinkler system, and the fire's too big for the sprinkler system. It doesn't work. So plastics generate oxidative stress and create inflammation. And also, they've been known to certain plastics to be hormone disruptors, estrogen, testosterone, even brain. There have been studies mostly on animals, anxiety, cognitive functioning, possibly inflammation in the brain, possibly even an Alzheimer's risk. If they do the Alzheimer's gene, they should do plastic monitoring. Well, we haven't gotten to routine plastic monitoring yet. But there's some companies out there, and I'm going to be looking into the accuracy that can do even a consumer buying finger tests for blood plastics. There's another company that's looking at measuring fecal plastic levels. Again, very, very, very important. So you can say, well, I eat healthy, I eat organic, how would I get my plastics? Well, did you brush your teeth today? Check your toothbrush. Okay. Did you use some facial cream? Check your toothbrush. Check the labels. And it's not going to be on the labels. That's the problem. You got to do the homework and you got to do the research. Certainly, here's one, a biggie, coffee cups. Coffee cups have to be lined with plastics in order for them not to leak. Now, there's certain companies that are looking at exploring alternatives, but not mainstream yet. If it's hot coffee, it's going to leak plastics. Their numbers, I was amazed to see some of the numbers of the microplastics you might get. Hundreds of thousands of microplastics released into that coffee cup going into your body. Bring your own cup, maybe iced coffee. So it's every place. There's no escaping it. Food wraps. I'm going to be starting a blog site where I'll constantly update, sources, so you can try and at least try some elimination. What are some suggestions? Well, the problem is there's not a whole lot of major clinical trials, certainly, or I can't even find it in small trials. So it's a lot of it's anecdotal, even though there is some chemical science to it and maybe some animal studies on ways of counteracting the plastics. Well, we know that we can certainly do a healthy antioxidant-rich diet, maybe doing nutritious anti-inflammatories, the fish oils and boswellia, and there's a whole list. I take 100 different supplements, almost up there with Brian Johnson. And when I work with clients, we try and, tailor it to the individual, blood chemistries and what's going on. But again, this is a missing piece to medical diagnosis. You come in and it says, oh, well, we don't know. Well, did you look at your diet. Again, a missing piece in the diet. Does your vegetarian diet have lots of plastics in it? Does your carnivore diet have lots of plastics in it? Do you eat a lot of fish? Well, fish is good. Lots of plastics. So it's a missing piece in this whole picture. And it's not standard, right? You don't go in like you do your blood chemistry. You have dental work. And we all try and be very careful. We don't want the mercury. Well, even composites can release, and a lot of the materials they use in dentistry can release these plastics. So, is it a plastic epidemic? Absolutely. There are some information that there might be an attempt to lessen some of the regulations about monitoring these plastics and plastic pollution. Hopefully not, but we have to start an awareness, and we have to come together as a community and really demand that companies tell us what's in the product. Tell us that they're not necessarily often put on the label. And so education really is going to be a key. Who's affected? They found it in placentas. Placentas. Maybe it's related to increased birth defects. There's decreases in fertility issues. Children certainly are going to be more vulnerable. Seniors are going to be more vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. And again, like I said before, it could be in your bottled water. Yes, it could be in your beer can, in your soda can, in your Coca-Cola can. All right. In some ways, it's like, in my opinion, like the smoking issue. Talk about smoking. People vape. Plastics. People expose in the air, to pollution. Going to breathe in the plastic. So again, it's overwhelming. And, sometimes when we hear too much of this, we just want to shut down and say, well, something's got to kill me, so it's okay. No, it doesn't have to be. So what are some things you might do? And again, a lot of this has to be personalized. I'm generalizing now. I think that's why I'm developing a personalized plastic detox program for my clients. All right. Putting a lot of scientific effort into it, consulting as many experts as I can. There are certain probiotics that might be helpful. Fiber can be helpful. Antioxidants can be helpful. So there's the issue of we need to protect against some of the known damage that we know of the plastics. Stop consuming them when we can. Stop absorbing them when we can. And hopefully remove them. And that's a big question. Are they permanent in the tissue? Are the nanoplastics permanent? It's still a question. And hopefully there'll be more answers. So health promoting things, maybe sauna. You sweat, you exercise, you sweat. Maybe you're going to eliminate some of these through your skin. That may be a way to go. So it's not as I said, we don't want to be, if you get too much information like this, often I've seen my clients, we shut down. We just, well, what can I do about it? Yes, you can. You can. So I will do my homework and keep you posted. Please put comments, questions. I'm going to start a group. I do have a group on super anti-aging on Facebook. I'll put some of these, some of this information there. And as I said, share this information. Let's start an awareness, and I'll keep you updated. So I want to thank you for listening. I hope this was really valuable.